thought I put do not disturb, but instead I locked my phone screen orientation.
Straight or gay?
Bye.
Welcome to Inchworm,
the podcast in which we're inching through Worm. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Ted.
This time we read Buzz 7.5.
Still buzzing along.
Yeah, we are. I think we'll be buzzing along for a while. This one was very fun. We are still, I think, in the pivot space between the Undersider business and the broader Cape world.
I think that's true.
Yeah, mostly the Undersiders made a plan and started to execute on that plan for escaping Triple E, attack.
That is mostly what happened.
That's mostly what happened.
You're leaving the listeners in suspense about the most important development of the chapter.
Oh, about the fake dating?
Yeah, but...
Yes.
I think you should.
Do you want me to summarize in detail?
Let's get more of a summary than they make a plan and there's fake dating.
It's a pretty good summary, if I say so myself. But yes. So, in this chapter, we start with Brian saying, we gotta get out of here. Just like we're too noticeable here, Empire 88 could find us. Like, even if they don't think we're behind this email, they might just want to attack someone anyway. We're a great target. They got in that fight with us today. And as predicted, Lisa does not agree, but she doesn't see the harm. So she goes along with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you see a bunch of kids and a dog hanging out, like some Scooby-Doo group, they're just sitting ducks.
Scooby-Doo. Yes. So Brian's plan is that Bitch is packing up her dogs. Bitch can finish doing that, and then Lisa and Alec can go meet her. They need to find a different place than that specific dog warehouse to hide. Brian says he's pretty sure Bitch has other dog warehouses, so maybe they can use one of those, or they could ask Coil for a location to hide in. And meanwhile, he and Taylor are going to go to his apartment, which is not at all a suspicious plan because he has solid reasons for it. He can't bring Alec with him because he's too mad at Alec right now for not answering his phone and potentially getting them into worse trouble. And he wants Lisa to go with Alec and Rachel so that there'll be someone with a level head there. And he says he would send Taylor, but he wants to split up the firepower and make sure each team has some, Bitch and Taylor are the main sources of firepower. So he just has to go back to his apartment with Taylor. And Alec is annoyed by this. He's like, what, we have to go sleep in a warehouse with some dogs and you're just going home? And that's when Brian is like, I'm pissed at you, and that's why I'm making you go sleep in a warehouse with dogs.
He does say they can all come and crash on his floor.
That's true. If they
worse comes to worse.
If they can't find another place to stay, they can all come crash on Brian's floor. But in the meantime, this is the plan. Taylor begs for 5 minutes to shower since she had bugs all over herself, and she does, in fact, go and shower and puts her costume on halfway, so it's just on her legs and sort of tied around her waist. She has a sweatshirt around her waist that's hiding the rest of the costume.
Bing! Oh, it's just the metaphor alert. We'll come back to it later.
So she goes out with Brian to the bus stop. She picks up some bugs on the way because she knows she won't be able to do it surreptitiously out in the wider world. And they wait for the bus and have some conversation about whether Brian gives too many orders. Brian thinks he sometimes just tells people what to do too much. And
also whether he's overreacting with this amount of caution.
Yeah. And they flirt a little. And then they get on the bus. And who should get on the bus with them but Sophia of bullying fame? And she, of course, looks amazing. And a lot of the men turn to look at her, Brian included. And she doesn't notice Taylor. Taylor's sitting down, so she's not super visible. Taylor is a little nervous. She's like, if she does notice me, is she going to start something? Because last time I saw her was when I was getting her suspended. She's kind of the violent one. She's the one who shoved me in the locker and gave me my powers. She's a little nervous about this. Then she notices Sophia is checking out Brian. So then the person next to Taylor on the seat gets off the bus and Taylor gets Brian to sit down next to her. And then she has a fiendish plan. She tells Brian, will you do me a huge favor? Just, like, go along with this. And she kisses him.
What?
Yeah. I mean, we can talk more about the kiss. And then she looks around for Sophia, and Sophia has moved. She's in the back of the bus, but Taylor finds her, and she's staring in shock at Taylor and Brian, and Taylor just kind of, keeps the little smile that was on her face and, like, looks back around and resists the urge to look back and check again. But, she feels very satisfied in the revenge that she just got. And she is pleased with herself for being impulsive, like Lisa told her to be, and for doing what Bitch suggested, sort of.
Sort of.
Kissing, making a move on Brian, putting it out there that there is some interest, even if she's not actually claiming it, because it's, like, in this weird circumstance. But now she's aware that, like, that maybe is going to make things awkward. And now I have to deal with the awkwardness with Brian and the Empire 88 situation, which are obviously of equal seriousness. And that's where we end the chapter.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, short, but...
Short, but packed with tropes.
Yes.
I mean, really just the one, but...
Yes. Yeah, I mean, what was your reaction throughout the bus scene as you were reading?
So when they first get on the bus, Taylor has the thought, like, I'm not the kind of girl Brian would date. We'll just be friends. Like, I can be happy with his friendship and his presence. That's fine. And I wrote down in my notes, saying that means that there's going to be romance.
Can I read just... Can I just read that bit? I wasn't the sort of girl Brian would be attracted to. I knew that. I could settle for just his presence and friendship. I could enjoy it if there happened to be casual body contact between us, even if it was a bit pervy.
Taylor, you're such a perv for enjoying touching your crush's arm.
So funny. Such a funny choice
She's
of
so
word.
judgmental towards herself.
Yeah, exactly. And right, she's uncomfortable with sex. That's
been
a theme with
very
her.
age appropriate discomfort. Yeah. So then when Sophia got on the bus, I was nervous because I've sort of flagged the possibility in my mind of, like, what if the bullies find out about her Cape life? They could use it against her in some way. So that's kind of what I was afraid of. I knew we'd had this whole big deal about how she was wearing half her costume and no one would see it unless they pulled her sweatshirt off or, like, she took her sweatshirt off. And I was like, ew, like, the costume is, like, kind of right there. It's, like, able to be discovered if the wrong move is made. And, Taylor was worried about Sophia starting something. So, of course, like, that was very, very fraught. And then when she tells Brian to, like, just go along with it, I was like, oh, crap, we're moving into fake dating territory. Yes. I mean, such a good trope. Great way to have, the two love interests kiss without collapsing the tension of, like, but is there interest? Does he like me? I haven't said I like him. We haven't confessed to each other. So very bold move on Taylor's part also. Like,
absolutely.
Very much Cape Taylor acting and not the Taylor who was, being passive throughout all the bullying. She's here with one of her teammates, her new friends, her really super cool villainous allies.
Yeah.
And she is half in her Skitter costume, and it's giving her lots of confidence. And I can't believe she went for it.
I know. Yeah, it really is out of character.
I mean, I'm willing to bet it's her first kiss.
Yeah,
When would she have kissed someone else? She's 15. She's been in this horrible bullying situation the last year and a half. It seems perfectly plausible that she's never kissed anyone before.
Yeah. I really loved the unexpected feeling of the kiss as well.
Do you want to read it? It was really good.
Just play along. I put 2 fingers on the side of his chin, turning his head, and rose out of my seat just enough to touch my lips to his. I expected electricity, fireworks, all that stuff you hear about. I thought my heartbeat might race or that my thoughts might dissolve into that chaotic mess that I'd experienced a few times in the recent past. What I didn't expect was the calm. The tension melted out of me, and all the worries, anxieties, and conflicting thoughts faded into the background. It was like the sense of peace I got from waking up at the loft, times 10. All I thought about was the contact, how nice it was, the feeling of his lips on mine. I broke the kiss and looked him in the eyes as I settled back in my seat. Even before he opened his mouth to say something, I was giving him the smallest shake of my head. He closed his mouth.
Great communication, great subtle scheming together. Yeah, the kiss description is so interesting. I mean, I'm torn. I'm wondering if it's just like, sort of a poetic, like, character note, like, wow, her first kiss. It's like, it's not the, like, kind of cliche description she thought it was going to be. It's this other thing, like, and she does find Brian to be a soothing presence. Like, that's so cool. But, like, does it have something to do with his power? Probably not, but, like, there has been so much with Brian about, I mean, his power is sort of one of, it's not exactly one of calm, but it's one of taking away sensation.
Yeah.
And he described the incident that triggered it for him as, like, he had no feeling. And, like, he was just sort of placid. And when he was telling the story, he also didn't really display any emotion. We also have found out that he has no scent.
Yeah.
Like, there's just all these things about him. And, Taylor saw his apartment and was like, oh, I feel so soothed. Even though she also felt incredibly awkward and was, like, holding her breath and stuff. It's this effect that Brian has on people, on Taylor, that, like, I wonder if there is anything tied up with his power that affects how it feels for Taylor to touch him. Or if it's just Brian is someone who really puts her at ease and kissing him just is this really calming sensation. Even though, I mean, if I were her, I would definitely, like, my heart would definitely be racing. Like,
yeah.
With just, like, the adrenaline of the situation, if nothing else. Like, she's being so bold.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah.
There's also, it could be, the description is compatible with a fairly chaste kiss as well,
yes,
right?
That's
it's
true.
not necessarily like she's really going for it physically. So it could be sort of like their lips have met and it's like a very, gentle touch. And that's part of where the sort of the calming sensation comes from. Because it's just like they've connected for just this one moment. And that moment is stretching out in time for her.
Yeah.
As she realizes
I would still expect sort of the zing of, like, I mean, even touching his arm, she was really into that. Like, it's fascinating that, like, the attraction that she feels isn't that sort of electric feeling. It's more...
I love the theory that
calm.
It's something to do with his power.
Yeah. Maybe it's just his personality, but...
Yeah, there's no real indication that we've seen that it's like by touching people he can soothe their emotions, right? It's like pretty different from what he does. I think it would have to be a
pretty subtle effect, if it is an effect at all.
Yeah, but I really like that. It certainly works, like, metaphorically with his whole deal, like the way his apartment makes her feel and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing that is worth saying about the kiss, though, right, is that it's much less about Taylor and Brian than it is about Taylor and Sophia.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she would have done it with someone she didn't want to kiss anyway.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. The pieces had to be there for it to happen. But, like, she rationalizes it as, look at me, I'm taking Lisa's advice to be more impulsive. I'm taking bitch's advice by putting myself out there.
Yeah.
But I think that absolutely the number one reason is that feeling she has where she's like this gloating feeling after it's done.
It's
she
Alec's
thinks about Sophia.
advice of getting revenge.
Yes. But she basically takes the object of her desire and turns him into a prop in this drama between her and her tormentor.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that's like a common tropey element of like fake dating or something, but it really stands out to me as like, it's different from the other stuff that Taylor is doing in this arc for the first time because she's all in on the Undersiders, right? Mm-hmm. This is something else. This is something that she's doing because she hasn't moved on from
Good point.
the bullies the way that she was sort of wanted to when she was talking to Danny, right?
Right. And
Sophia popped into her life again, even though she's not going to school, even though she's halfway into her Skitter costume. And she isn't over it to the point where she doesn't want to use Brian to score points.
Right. She does think to herself, she's not going to do more than just make brief eye contact. She's not even going to like make a face at Sophia or anything. She says she wasn't worth it, wasn't worth spoiling this. She says that, but like she is doing this to get back at Sophia. Like she is she's sort of, if the best revenge is living well, she's trying to convince Sophia that she's living well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she gets, just Sophia's presence totally puts her on edge.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
She's basically getting ready, like, well, if she makes a move on me, I have to be ready to fight. Right?
Yeah.
Like, she gets into her, like, do something mode, right? And then the circumstances change to the point where suddenly, everything lines up and she's like, okay, the thing that I can do is kiss Brian.
Yeah, instead of fight or flight, she chooses flaunt.
Flaunt. I love that.
Yeah. It is, I do think, just as a side note, it is sort of a common thing of fake dating tropes. It's like, oh, I need to date you to save face in front of someone is often like, I have to go to this party with my ex. Will you be my, that is often a reason for fake dating. Yeah. I mean, this obviously, fake dating is not quite the right term. This is just a kiss. They're not like pretending to be in this whole, but like, this is like a tiny slice of fake dating.
We don't get much from Brian, but do you have any thoughts about what's going on inside his head?
I think, he's definitely surprised and curious, but he clearly is not upset about this. Like, right after the thing where Taylor shakes her head at him subtly, they kind of go back to, sitting in their previous positions, but he puts his arm around her shoulders. So he at least is on board enough. He doesn't know why she's doing this, but he's like, sure, I'll play along. Probably because he does like her to some extent. We don't know exactly what the extent is. Yeah. But I think he's probably like, ooh, this is kind of cool and exciting. What's going on here? I think he's probably intrigued. And I think even when Taylor tells him, as I'm sure she's about to do as soon as they get off the bus, like, yeah, one of my bullies was there and I wanted to, I noticed her looking at you and I wanted to kind of show her up. Like, I think he'll still have in his head, like, okay, but she wanted to kiss me. Like, there still be like, okay, but would she have done it without that factor? Like, I think it will get him thinking more actively about things if he hadn't been.
Yeah, so we'll have sort of like immediate de-escalation to the status quo, but it won't be the status quo.
Right,
because this
something
moment
has shifted.
Things.
Yeah.
Very, very
It's a tiny step,
yeah,
towards some bug.
I certainly just like thinking about just what we get in this chapter. I feel like it would be so confusing because it's not just like she kissed him out of nowhere. It's like, oh, she's into me. It's the like,
that would be mean, right? Like,
no, but the fact that she says like, go with me, like there must be some reason, but it's not going to be obvious to him at all what it is. So it's like, I would just be sitting there being like, cool. Like that was
random and weird.
Yeah, like what's going on? Be very hard.
He's so chill though. He does a great job.
Yeah, that's true. Brian is very chill. Probably more chill than me.
More chill than most people.
Any other thoughts on Sophia?
Yeah, I mean,
we get sort of the recap. She's hot. She was awful to Taylor. She's on the phone with someone and she's annoyed.
She's checking out Brian to an extent that would probably make him uncomfortable, Taylor thinks, if Brian noticed.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love that we get, like, Brian looked at Sophia, and Taylor's like, oh, no, he's checking her out. But, like, we don't really get, she can't see Brian's face. We don't get that. But then when Sophia looks at Brian, Taylor can see everything that is going on in her head, where Sophia is appraising him and being like, ooh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
And it could even be Taylor projecting a little bit. Like, Brian's very attractive, so I assume that someone else his age would,
oh, yeah. I mean, I think Sophia is definitely looking at him. Like, I don't think Taylor would be making that up. I do think that the thing where she thinks Brian might be uncomfortable with the extent of it might be her being a little bit uncomfortable about this whole arena still.
Yeah.
And being a little bit slut-shamey. Like, I thought I was being a perv, but she's really being a perv, kind of.
Is it notable at all that it's Sophia and not Emma or Madison?
Ooh, that's interesting. I mean, Emma would have been so much more loaded. I think that would have been a little higher stakes. I mean, Emma will probably hear about this, but like having Emma on the bus would have been way up to the tension meter.
It maybe feels like a little too small world or something, right? Like
just running into Emma all over the place.
Right.
And it's nice to bring the other bullies back to not just Emma, who's the enemy here. And Madison is so like nothing. She's so lightweight as a person that I can see why Sophia was chosen. I do wonder, because Sophia is black, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if that was at all a deliberate choice. Just like, I don't know, Sophia having that in common with Brian. I'm not sure in what way that would exactly play a role, but like, I wonder if that's notable.
I was wondering kind of the same thing. And I'm wondering in particular how much that's in Taylor's head. There's maybe he would have liked the attention from a girl that looked like her, which is obviously she describes her a page or two earlier as like...
hot, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she is thinking of that in racial terms. Like, when she's like, I'm not the kind of girl Brian would be attracted to, I don't think what she means is, because I'm white. Like, I don't think she would...
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's a thing.
It's an interesting undercurrent, yeah.
It's there in subtext for sure, and I think you can read it into the, Taylor's thinking about it.
Should we talk a little bit about how Taylor sees Brian?
Yes.
Yeah, I really loved this. She says, it was maybe unfair to think so, but I generally saw the vast majority of teenage boys as awkward people that combined the traits of a child and an adult in the most unfortunate ways possible. So good. Brian was the opposite, and it was his voice and his smile that really nailed the effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what we know, she says just prior to that, if I was being honest, I would even say that his smile was tied with his voice for the thing I liked most about him aesthetically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she talks all the time about his boyish smile, and she has also said that his voice sounds like an adult man's.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she loves the sort of childish smile and adult voice, which is, the best traits of both combined.
And we've seen a lot of her treating him as eye candy, the muscles under the shirt, and the sweat on his arm. Yeah. So, but it's really charming that she's like, oh, his smile is the best part.
His favorite things are like his smile and his voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is definitely flirting with her. I mean, I editorialized a lot in my summary about how he justifies bringing her to his apartment alone.
You mean to her later or in the moment with the other Undersiders?
No, he's flirting with her in this scene at the bus stop. So they're talking about how Taylor had said maybe she would make him a costume, and he's like, sorry if you didn't want to come to my apartment. And she's like, no, I love your apartment. Like, if I ever get an apartment, I want you to decorate it. And he's like, make me that costume and maybe I will. And so, which is interesting in its own right, because she's like seriously considering it. And she says, like, obviously I couldn't and wouldn't mention the fact that my decision to ally myself with the Undersiders for real was a factor. Right. Like, she has the option now. But she says, gives us something to talk about while I'm staying over, too. And he says, I don't think we'll lack for conversation topics.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think he is flirting.
Yeah. He also very conveniently arranged it so that she has to come stay with him. Yeah. There's nothing he can do about it.
I thought it was some good self-awareness on his part. I take charge, make calls.
Yes.
That he didn't even ask her if she wanted to stay over. He just said, Taylor's coming over. And it isn't until they're at the bus stop that he thinks to say, I never asked. And actually, he never does ask. Taylor just says, it's fine.
Good point. He doesn't ask. Yeah, he says that, he did that a lot when he first joined the Undersiders, and the others complained about it, and his sisters mentioned it too, that he doesn't say the word bossy, but like, he's just kind of bossy. And I identify with this as someone who sometimes will just like take charge of a situation and try to make it all go the way that it makes sense to me that it should.
Right.
And it can be afterwards you're like, ooh, should I have done that? Oh, was that a bad idea? And so he's kind of checking with her on that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's... I mean, I don't know that anyone has offered him the opportunity to be in charge of the Undersiders. Like, Taylor has said, like, maybe you should be. But, like, it's not like the rest of the group was like, hey, Brian, do you want to lead? And he said no. Like, I think it's just, like, they haven't discussed having a leader. Mm-hmm. But I do suspect that he would hesitate to just, like, step up and be like, hey, I'm going to be the leader now. Because, I mean, first of all, you can't do that without getting buy-in from everyone. But I think he knows he has this trait and is maybe a little bit, like, generally tries not to indulge it too much because he knows it bothers people.
Interesting. So,
yeah.
I do wonder about his decision with the sleepover thing.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't super calculated. I suspect it was more like, well, Taylor can come with me and you guys can... Like, I think he made the division instinctually.
Uh-huh.
And then came up with some reasons.
I don't know. I mean, his reasons were reasonably solid.
I guess, yeah.
It's just a little convenient that it results in him and Taylor going to his apartment alone.
I think it would be just as reasonable to be like, yeah, Alec and I will stay at my place.
But he's too mad at Alec.
No, because he's a guy, and then you and Lisa
also,
and Rachel
then
can all
they don't have
together.
any firepower.
I guess that's true, right?
Yeah.
If Taylor and Bitch are the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Brian should have gone with Bitch and sent everybody with his keys to his apartment. That's really... That would have been the real leader move.
Yeah, I mean, that would satisfy all of his conditions.
Yeah, he would never do that, though.
No. Leave Alec alone in his apartment.
Really, Lisa's the one who I feel like is most screwed over, but he's also mad at her, just like to a little bit of a lesser extent.
Right, and hopefully they can all find somewhere to stay. And it does make sense to send Lisa with the others if they need to talk to Coil about finding a place, because Lisa's the one who has his contact information, who can get his ear. Yeah.
Brian is also reflecting on his own paranoia. Right? He starts out by saying, we have to disperse. And later he checks in with Taylor and is being like, am I being paranoid? And Taylor's like, well, I don't think so, but you shouldn't ask me because I'm also paranoid. And he's like, well, do you think the other people will think I'm paranoid? And Taylor's like, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny the way Brian is shaping their relationship as, like, Taylor is sort of his confidant. It's like the person he talks to frankly. It's like, was what I said to the others okay? Like, what are the others going to think about that? Like, you and I are going to be, like, fully candid with each other about this. We're on the inside of the, he clearly sees her as someone he can trust in that way and someone he wants to be close to in a way that, like, I don't know if he's ever made that kind of overture to Alec or Lisa. I'm sure he hasn't to Bitch.
Yeah. Well, it's her heart showing through again, right? She's so easy to confide in.
And also, she is someone he has a lot in common with in terms of, like, approach to the world. Like, the caution, the preparedness. Yeah.
And he's more comfortable around her. He's crushing on her. He's opening up. It all makes sense.
I'm now thinking, so we talked a lot last time about how Bitch and Taylor are forming this connection, still in progress, but, promising. And Brian clearly is creating this connection with Taylor. I think that we already talked about how Lisa and Taylor have this sort of special rapport because Lisa didn't really have a girl to be friends with, and, like, girl friendship can be different. And also, Taylor's the one who has figured out stuff, like, about Bitch's dog brain, and Lisa has opened up to her about it. I don't know to what extent Lisa's connection with Taylor is different than one she would have with Alec or Brian, because I don't think Lisa is being candid with Taylor in the way that Brian has been. But we have at least seen them have a little bit of a friendship connection. I feel like Alec is really the outlier here so far. Yeah. He's sort of the one still hasn't really connected with any of them, probably. Yeah. And I wonder where that's going to go. I wonder if there is an opportunity there. He clearly is someone who doesn't form connections to other people, in a deep level easily. He had this incredibly abusive and neglectful upbringing, and is probably just as messed up as Bitch is about it, even if it's a little bit subtler in its manifestations for him. And so I wonder if he and Taylor will be able to connect.
Yeah, and it's unclear. We definitely haven't seen it so far, but it's unclear what their point of connection would be.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, most teenage boys suck in this chapter. And Alec's definitely more the classic teenage boy.
Right, he doesn't even have an adult voice.
Yeah. I also liked, I was almost like, why aren't they teasing Taylor about this? Like, in the whole argument. And I feel like, Taylor is even like, she has, like, the Kill Bill sirens going off in her head as soon as Brian says, Taylor will sleep at my place. And
she's like, tries to be like, I couldn't even breathe there.
What if we all slept in the same place? And Lisa, without a hint of teasing, just says, like, no, it makes sense to split up, because if one of us gets attacked, the other team can come bail us out. And Taylor's like, no, oh, crap. But thankfully, after Taylor's shower, Lisa is teasing her, even with just a look about, she sees Taylor checking out the sweat on Brian's arm and is like, have fun, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. I'm not sure what else I had about this one. It's pretty short.
Yeah, it's a nice short chapter. I mean, a couple of little things. I mean, I sounded the metaphor alert earlier.
Yes.
We've talked about it. But
a little bit.
Taylor comes up with another innovation, which is never get stuck without your costume again, because you should always wear it on halfway and then tie it under your hoodie around your waist. So that, it's just, if your pants are baggy enough, no one will tell that you're wearing armor.
Right, it's
underneath.
like having an extra pair of leggings under your jeans or whatever.
Yeah, and then you get into a pinch, you duck into the alley or the phone booth, and you lose your hoodie, and you pull on, the rest of the costume.
Yeah, it's, I bet that spider silk is incredibly warm, though.
Yeah.
It's getting on towards summer. It's going to be rough.
Yeah. But I got to spell it out, right? She is halfway in costume now. Yeah. And she's, halfway in between her identities. The barrier between Skitter and Taylor is breaking down. Who is she in this chapter?
Right. I wonder if it's also like she's halfway towards the fully fledged cape she's going to be.
Yeah.
She's halfway towards giving up her civilian identity.
Yeah. It's very fun. And I really like that detail being included, and it'll just be fun to see when during the rest of the arc she gets in and out of costume.
I mean, the procedural stuff is always really fun. The logistics of like, okay, well, I can't wear my costume under my clothes because it covers parts of me that usually wouldn't be covered by clothes, so I would need like gloves and stuff, and that would be weird. But like, I don't want to have to fully change into it and just like keep it in my backpack. Like, that's kind of
and it's nice. It's just so well motivated from a couple chapters ago. The problem she had of I got caught without my costume. Doesn't want to have to
be covered entirely in bugs.
So it works on that procedural level and also on the thematic level.
And she also knows now that if she needs, some time/space to get into her costume, she can temporarily cloak herself in bugs.
Yes. There's a nice moment as she's walking around the loft where she starts like hoovering the bugs up her pants. Like, I just really love these little details that we're getting in this arc.
She put a toe down so they could all climb up. Yeah. She's like, I won't be able to collect them as easily on the outside the loft without people noticing, so I better just collect a bunch of them now in the doorway. Yeah.
The only other thing, it was just a little note, but it didn't come up in the summary. Brian tells Lisa to tell Coil, you have to take credit for the doxing and get Empire 88 off our back, or I'm not taking the deal.
Yeah.
Which is, for me, really bold on Brian's part, because he needs this deal so badly. This is like saying something about how he feels in the situation.
I mean, he is very alarmed.
Yeah.
About the possibility of reprisal. And he does, like, Lisa's like, I don't think he'll want to come, like, to fess up to this. He sent the email anonymously. He probably doesn't want anyone to know that he was the one who sent it. And Brian's like, well, no, if he's going to, like, leave us hanging in the wind, he didn't even give us any warning. He needs to figure out a way to keep us from taking the heat that should fall to him. I also wonder how much, like, is Lisa actually going to call Coil, like, in 5 minutes and be like, Brian says he's out unless you do X, Y, and Z. She would never say that. Like, that baldly. Will she treat it more like she's treating Bitch right now, where it's like, well, we'll talk about this again before I call Coil, right? Like, I'm just going to have you tell me that a second time before I call Coil. It'd be interesting to see. Yeah, it's like an email where you're like, oh, I have to do something in response to this email, but I know they'll send a reminder, so I can just ignore this for now. I think that's all I got this chapter-wise. Yeah, me too. Nice short one. Yeah. Plans and fake dating. Do you have any predictions? Ooh. I mean, I have already said that I think Taylor and Brian are going to talk about, the kiss. The kiss and the reasons behind it. I think there will be some consequences of it. I think the fact that Taylor is now known to be associating with Brian in particular, I think is going to come back in some way. I mean, only if he were doxxed would it tie her to villainy, but I think, I've been predicting that the bullies will be curious for a while now. I wonder if they will try to investigate. It'll be harder than it would have been now that Taylor's not living at home. Right. So I don't know what they can do about it, but... Right. But yeah, all it would take if somebody put Brian's face on TV and said, this is the supervillain Gru, and Sophia saw it, right? Oh yeah, but that first thing is a lot. That would be a lot to have happen. Yeah. Well, that's what they just did to Empire 88. Right, but that was a lot too. No, I know, I know. Yeah. Yeah, other stuff, I think they will not get to Brian's apartment because I think that the others will call for help Like, I think they will end up reunited very soon. I think they really just split up so that Brian and Taylor could have the special fake dating time. I think Lisa's going to call and say that Empire 88 is attacking the dog warehouse. They didn't have a chance to get the dogs out. This was sort of what I predicted for this chapter, but I think we had a little bit of a delay because we needed to take a romantic bus ride.
Yeah, we're not going to get a full sleepover.
No.
We're going to get interrupted by Cape drama.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the pivot point, right? We've got to bring in the Cape drama and not just the interpersonal stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to hear the first sentence? So about that, quote, favor I just did you, ...
Brian said. Yeah, so I think she's going to say, I mean, they're off the bus now, right? Yeah. She's going to explain about Sophia. Yeah.
Now, there are some Cape names.
Are they members of Empire 88 who are going to show up at the warehouse attacking dogs?
That is...
You can't tell me that.
Not allowed.
But they're not allowed to attack the dogs.
You can tell me whether you think that these are members of Empire 88.
Okay.
Alabaster.
Yes. Alabaster.
Should I just give you the whole bunch?
Yeah, I do want to do each of them, but... Alabaster. Ooh, okay. I mean, there's obviously whiteness in there. I assume this is a white supremacist because we have the Empire 88 is right there, so, probably is. So alabaster is like a kind of stone. I wonder if this is someone who can turn themselves to stone. Maybe can become like a huge stone giant or something. I guess they have a gargoyle, yeah, but like a alabaster one, I guess. Yeah.
Crusader.
I mean, that also sounds like a member of Empire 88. Yeah, Crusader. Yeah, some sort of firepowery power that we haven't had yet. I kind of want it to be someone who, like, fills other people with fervor. But that's more of, like, a leader power. And if this is, like, a lieutenant of the Empire, like, that might... I don't know if Kaiser would want that.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Can conjure swords out of nowhere. No, that's Kaiser. Wait.
Well, Kaiser he can turn the metal into swords, but maybe Crusader's just swords.
Does Kaiser not generate metal?
Yeah, but I mean, he could generate metal in the shape of a sword, but he could also generate anything else.
Right, but like having Crusader just be a subset of Kaiser's power is kind of pathetic.
Victor.
I mean, I guess that's like not a name that would necessarily have to be Empire 88, but again, I'm going to assume. Also, like, wow, the capes are really mounting up in Empire 88. If these are all Empire 88, they're going to be in trouble. Victor is someone who can anticipate their opponent's moves a second before they make them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Storm Tiger.
Storm Tiger! That's great. Huh. Storm and Tiger imply really different sets of powers. Like, I want this to be like Storm from the X-Men who, like, controls weather or whatever, but, like, Storm Tiger? It's like Hook Wolf, where you're like, why are those two words together? I think Storm Tiger can, like, create gusts of wind and then, like, surf them. Amazing. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a Sharknado, but with tigers. Can just generate a Tiger-nado? Yeah. Okay. Cricket. Cricket? Huh. It's kind of a cute little name there. I feel like this should be like a sound-based power. Interesting, yeah. Yeah. Like I want it, echolocation, like I don't think crickets have echolocation and there are other animals that do, so cricket would be a stupid name. Maybe cricket can speak to other people's minds, so they're a really good lookout. Oh. They can just kind of pipe up voices in people's minds. It could also be like a source of distraction. Yeah, you can always have cricket on your shoulder. Yeah, cricket is just like their superpower is having a conscience. Rune. That's definitely a member of Empire 88. That's like very Nordic coded. Rune. I want all these powers to be like combat useful, so like being able to read any language is like not super useful. But someone's got to have that power, right? I mean, why not? Yeah, and they might just be mentioned. They don't necessarily have to show up in combat. They can read people's faces like runes. So that's more like Lisa's power. Yeah, I do like the idea of like they're just like their polyglot would be a better name for this. But they can read any language. Nice. Othala. Well, that doesn't mean anything to me. Othala? I don't know. Do you want to know what it is? Sounds vaguely like Valhalla, just like in terms of word form, so I assume it's... It's a rune. Oh, it's a rune. So you have rune...
It's one that's associated with the Nazis. But,
okay. So, maybe possibly an Empire 88 member
Possibly.
there. Do you know what the rune itself means?
It's part of the SS symbol, but similar to the swastika, it had a meaning before the Nazis co-opted it.
Right, so it doesn't have I'm trying to figure out what the power would be, so...
The etymology seems to be heritage, inheritance.
Okay, so this is just, that doesn't really point to a power. This is just someone who likes Nazis. Okay, well, maybe because it's part of the SS symbol, it's maybe they have some kind of stealth power, lets them spy on people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they have almost the way that dogs can follow a scent trail, and sometimes you get the metaphor. It's there's paint on the ground or where the people's footsteps were. Maybe they actually see it like that. They're this person walked there. I can see their footprints on the ground.
Like in the Family Circus cartoons?
Yes.
Not me leaving a trail.
Yes, exactly. Or the Emperor's New Groove, where they leave the path on the map and they look behind them and there are the little arrows where they've been.
Yes. That's very charming.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a power that's that cute.
I mean, the ability to track people would actually just be really dangerous.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this is all a big misdirect.
I suspect they'll face at least some of these people, and if they're facing all of them, well then I hope their powers are all really pathetic. We really haven't seen very many people who don't have a useful power in this world.
No, I mean, to your point, your instinct is sort of right on point. That
they're all really effective.
Yeah. Taylor was joking about what if that one teacher just had a really bad power, but we haven't really seen any evidence.
There aren't any bad powers, yeah.
That's the case.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, until next time.
On Inchworm.
Worm is a web serial by J.C. McCrae. You can read Worm at parahumans.wordpress.com and support the author at patreon.com/wildbow. Follow us on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Inchworm Podcast, or find our Discord link and any other updates on inchwormpodcast.com.